Hey guys, Zach here, welcome back to the channel. So today I got this really pretty headlamp. I think it's a 3D design headlamp or something like that. I got it from a half cut, very good price. So I thought, hey, why not? I mean, I was just at a half cut and I saw it and I was like, how much? He said 800. Okay lah. So I took it. Only problem is that certain part of the headlamp needs wiring. Let me show you guys. It's really in bad condition though. I mean, these are all quite in bad condition, but you know, I can rewire up, make it look pretty again. Hey guys, alright, so my mic added up, and so I'm gonna explain to you guys how you guys going to open up the bumper. Basically there's 4 screws on the top, which is a T30 Torx. So you need a T30 Torx to open up all the 4 screws bolts on the top, and after that you will need a 8mm to open up the fender liners. So there will be 2 of them, one on the bottom and one on the top. It's not that hard actually. Only problem I had was this previous owner, he had mixed up bolts and nuts everywhere throughout the car. Some are 10, some are 8mm bolts, some are cable tied. So I had a lot of issue with that because I had to keep getting all the tools that I require, and some were all cable tied and glued together to the bumper apparently. I'm not so sure why. I'll show you guys later on where there's a silicone glue that is actually stuck to the bumper and the headlamp bracket. So I'm gonna pull out the liner, and as you can see, I had to cut the cable tie here because the whole entire bottom part was actually just cable tied to it. I'm wearing a mask because there was so much dust and debris, and I think there was some fiber dust as well inside. So now I'm just removing the whole entire part. Basically it was just 2 bolts on the left and the right of the fender, and that's about it. Just top 4 screw center, 2 bolts on the left and the right, and the bottom part I'm pretty sure there are bolts that are holding the bumper as well, but previous owner just had it all cable tied, so all I did was just cut down all the cable tie. Now as you can see, I just fixed up the lamp. Apparently if you realize the new headlights were blinking, I'm not so sure what's wrong with it, so I'm explaining it that something was flickering, and I'm not so sure whether it's the actual headlight. And I actually realized it, as you can see here, my house, that's glass window, so I kind of noticed it when I was actually in the car. When I unlock and lock it, it's fine, it works perfectly normal. So I'm not so sure whether it's the FRM, the footwell module, that is actually going bad, but I'll definitely check it out. So as you can see here, there's the 4 bolts that are hanging the bumper, that's holding the bumper, sorry. And you can see here, there's 2 bolts. As you can see, there's 2 notches there. That's the 2 bolts that are holding up the bumper, and down here were all the bolts, but apparently previously owner used cable ties for it. As you can see on the headlamp bracket there as well, the black silicone here, yep, I'm not so sure why it was there, but apparently it was a little bit stick to the bumper, but I managed to just pull it out and it wasn't that bad or that hard. So I'll be removing the new headlights as well, and the old headlights. I'll be selling the headlights, that is why I'm actually opening up the whole entire front part. So now as you can see, I'm just checking out all the entire clearance, trying to fit the headlamp and see where can I route the intercooler pipings, where can I route all the pipings for the oil lines and the ATF line. If you notice that I was actually trying to decide like how to actually mount the intercooler and the oil coolers. So yep, I had to actually voice over because as you guys can see, the fan, that is an industrial fan back there. I tested it out and it wasn't that bad, but I'm not so sure why when I uploaded back to my PC, the fan was horrible. The wind sound was just so bad. So now I'm just explaining that I've been searching videos all over for the E90 dimensions. Like, if you guys want to start a swap, obviously you're going to get your parts pre-handed before you actually start the swap. That way you don't open up everything and wait for the parts for weeks or probably months. So I was just explaining that, you know, I'm gonna make sure and get every dimension and parts like that. And I figured out that it would be really helpful for whoever that wants to start their swap on the E90. And I have no idea what I was saying here. So apparently I was actually explaining I will probably need to cut out the front part. Okay, so here is from the firewall to the radiator fan. It was actually 90 cm or 900 mm. To have a perfect gap and space between the radiator fan will be 70 cm. Side by side is 90 cm as well from the suspension mount to the side. And I will suggest you place in the engine first, mount in the engine, and then decide like if you could use, you know, intake manifold or exhaust manifold, aftermarket ones. So the frontal one, I was explaining that my intercooler core was 600 mm, which is 60 cm, and the full length was 1 meter, which is the length of side to side from the crash member beam support mount. And I was pretty nervous because the intercooler thickness is 100 mm, sorry, yeah, which is equivalent to 10 cm. So it's going to be a tight fit, and basically I was explaining that I can't really remove the whole entire front and cut them because there are mounts that hold the headlights and the bracket that holds the hood down and also the bumper. So I'll probably just cut a certain area where I'm explaining now. And I will be cutting up to the radiator support mount. That's the support mount for the radiator at the sides there. So I'm just going to cut the whole entire front and make sure that I do not cut any part that requires a mount. I know I could just like cut the whole entire thing, but there are rules and regulation here in Malaysia where before you endorse a new engine to the car, you need to make sure that everything goes according to safety, their guidelines and stuff like that. So here I'm just explaining how I will have done it if I wasn't using for road legal or on the street. I'll just probably pull out the whole front mounting, front removal, including the crash beam, and just made out a custom made bar and mount the intercoolers and stuff like that. So here I'm deciding to measure the oil cooler clearance. I'm gonna mount the oil cooler clearance there, and I was just explaining that the horn was in the way. So what I did was I just bent the bracket and made sure that it was closer to the crash beam mount. I wanted to plan to mount it on the condenser as well at the center, but there was no space and it would be a really tight fit, including with the intercooler. That way I can't really mount it and the crash beam will be in the way. So I'm gonna mount it on the left side and the right side, and there is a lot of space there. There's at least 35 to 40 cm space there where you can mount the oil cooler, but I'm going to be using the British type oil cooler, which is only 30 cm width and 30 cm height. That way it's just perfect size to fit it behind the bumper. I'll also be mounting an oil cooler there. As you can see, the original E90 comes with a line oil cooler for the power steering, and I'm gonna change that and just mount a normal Hayden power steering cooler line there. Alright guys, so that's about it guys. Thank you so much for watching always guys. I really do appreciate it. Do like and subscribe guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care boys. Ciao guys.